Tap Room, where there is no last call, which of course is why I'm pouring a barrel-aged stout at 9:30 in the morning.
Ooh,
Um, Dave,
look at you.
how's it going out there?
It's okay. The snow that came here last week has finally melted, and it's been like 50 degrees for the last couple days. So I'm very happy with that. How are things
You've
out
got
there? I know. Are
you've
you
got
still?
another blast of cold air and snow coming your way,
I
though.
I know. I don't. Let's
You
not
don't
be.
want
Let's not be negative. Let's not be
All
negative.
right, all right, all right. Yeah, that's fine. We can skip that because I've got fire weather coming tomorrow, so
Yes.
we can skip over the weather. Let's just
How are the fire? Are they still far away from you or?
Yes, so the big ones you saw on the news,
Yeah.
those were like an hour from me, no
Okay.
real danger. I mean, you were here, we're kind of right at the base of a fire zone,
Right.
it just thankfully we didn't have any where we are this time,
Good.
but
Good.
we've got another round of fire weather coming tomorrow through, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, so we'll see how it goes, but,
Fire weather. What?
yeah.
What does this world come
Well,
to?
it's we haven't had a drop of rain in,
Yeah.
like, 8 months, so
Yeah.
everything is just dry,
Yeah.
bone dry, so, yeah, it's been a very weird rainy season, we haven't had any rain yet, so, anyway, yeah, so here we are.
Yeah.
Um, so we've been trying to do this with the tap rooms, sometimes we remember, sometimes we forget, a little icebreaker
It's like
of
50-50 that we
yeah,
remember.
of a dinner party question, so I'll start. What is your most used emoji?
The thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And I know that that is somehow triggering for Gen Z, like, I don't know how they find that offensive, like, that's an
Yeah,
easy yes or
yeah,
agree or I use it all the time with you.
yeah.
You don't get offended, right? I'm not
No,
offending you by using a thumbs up.
no, no,
Um,
no.
that's probably that's gotta be my most used one, just because it's super quick and it's right there, and, like, you go to the emojis, it's the
Mhm.
first one
It's the
that's
first
saved
one.
because I
Yeah,
use it that most often.
yeah.
What about yours? Yours
Mm.
is the rock sign?
No, actually, my my most used one, probably no surprise, is the clinking beer glasses.
Okay,
Like
okay.
cheers. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
yeah.
Alright, here this one's a little bit difficult. I probably should have given you this ahead of time to give you some time to think about it. If you woke up in someone else's body, how would you convince your loved ones you are who you say you are?
Oh, wow. I I think it would have to be, like, probably talking about craft beer.
I was I
I
was
would say,
thinking.
like, I would say probably that my favorite beer is Julius from Treehouse,
Okay.
and they would know, like,
Yep.
my cat's name is Julius, like,
Yeah.
they would know that's legit.
Yeah. I was thinking you'd say something about the Packers and something about beer.
So it's, yes, it's probably the Packers or, yeah, something along those lines too, the Angels, yeah,
Yeah.
something else sports related would be a good one too, yeah. How
Well,
about you?
there's probably not like a whole lot of like you're in a very small window of a Venn diagram of Packers and Angels fans,
Yeah.
right? Like
I would think
there's
so.
those probably don't line up all
Yeah,
that
it's
often.
truly Angels, Packers, Jeff. That's
Yeah.
probably it.
For me, what would I do? Uh, Probably complain about the cold.
Mhm,
Um, Talk about the Red Sox.
mhm.
That's probably it.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
get me another coffee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we've had some great episodes, lately
Yeah, we
since our
have.
last tap room, and we have one uploading tonight,
Yep.
which I know if you're watching this live, you'll see this, but otherwise this won't be posted till next week, so it'll already be live. But we have we have a person from another VTS Academy
Yep.
that
Yep.
if you're kind of new to the Vet Tech Cafe, as we try to highlight really cool things veterinary technicians are doing in our field. We've been trying to talk to somebody from each VTS Academy
Yep.
as part of our really since the beginning.
Yeah.
And we
I
finally
w I
got
would say that was
somebody.
one of our initial goals, right?
Yeah,
Is to talk
yeah,
to somebody in each of these.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so we finally have somebody in VTS dermatology coming on. So that was really eye opening. The some of the tidbits she was able to tell us about the application process
Yeah.
was pretty unique. So that was it was a really cool discussion. They all are because like I mean, obviously, we all end up as VTSs, and you do your thing in your specific discipline, but also like there's variability
Yeah.
in what you can do and the dynamic working with your given specialist and application process. And I don't know, it's fascinating to me.
Well, and with theirs, I'm still baffled that their skills list is not something that's out open for the public.
Mhm.
That kind of
Yeah.
makes me a little curious about what the heck you got going on over there.
Right.
The other thing that I always like to look at is like what's their application process
Mhm.
and what do they do with this VTS. And application processes are all generally the same. You've got to have a certain amount of hours. You've got to have a certain set of skills that are on your
Cases
mastery
and
level, and then there's case logs and case reports. That's pretty standard for every VTS. But I think one of the differences that um, I kind of gleaned from what she was saying is that a lot of their knowledge base and a lot of their role in as a VTS in dermatology is that forward facing client interaction of being able to explain things to them in a
Mhm.
manner that they can understand, and using the knowledge that they've gained from all this. um Whereas like ECC, a lot of our stuff is like skills based. Like there's a
Right.
lot of knowledge based, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of skills that are
Yeah,
involved
yeah,
in.
not as mu I wouldn't, not nearly as much forward facing,
Right,
like
right.
I would see an IM tech, a cardio tech,
Yeah,
a derm tech, a heavy amount of client interaction,
yeah.
rechecks, client communication. It's just not something we do,
Well, and
we're in the back and, we talk to owners when they visit, but a lot of times we don't
yeah.
do, a lot
But
more of
also
that consultation.
think about you and I and a lot of other people in our VTS. We are introverts. We are more comfortable in the back. We are not
Yes.
as comfortable out in the front and talking to owners and clients
Yeah.
about things. So we've slid into the specialty that actually works more towards our personality trait, is that we're more introverted.
Mhm.
Not every VTS and ECC is introverted, but I
No.
think there's a good portion of at least people that we know that are pretty much introverted
Mhm.
and don't want to be out there talking to owners. Which
Yeah.
I mean, but like you said, the small animal, internal medicine, cardiology, a lot of those are going to be forward facing, where they're talking to owners and kind of expunging, or not expunging, like exuding their knowledge to
Mhm.
these owners. Which it's always fascinating to hear the different things that people go through to get to their VTS.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So that was a great conversation. And then before that was, and sorry, I'm still clearing a cold and
I
my
hear
voice
you.
kind of
Yeah.
goes in and out. Excuse me. We had Kelly Drescher Johnson before
Hmm.
that,
Yeah.
and another just eye-opening and fascinating discussion. I think there's a few things we wanted to get to that we didn't. But yeah, another just just another super eye-opening episode.
Well, and a lot of like kind of bringing out to light what CSR is doing, what
Mhm.
that forward facing
Mhm.
person like, we didn't talk a whole lot about her role as a CSR, more about the grief counseling and
Mhm.
things like that. But the fact that these are the people that are talking to the owners, that are kind of letting them know what's going on behind the scenes, and uh, talking to them about things that we sometimes don't get a chance to as technicians and doctors,
Yeah.
which I thought was very, very good to highlight and very good
Mhm.
to like put out in the open, because they're probably one of the most underrated members of the veterinary team is the
Undervalued.
CSRs. Yeah,
Yeah.
undervalued. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of that is because there's not like doctors go to veterinary school, technicians
Mhm.
go to tech school. There's
Yeah.
not really a
No,
program.
it's like in a lot of hospitals, it's kind of a entry level, if you
Yeah,
will, like, they're but I would hope good hospitals, like, there's a path from, getting in as a CSR to maybe lower middle level management to, like because I think those people are probably a little bit better equipped coming from a CSR role to do some managerial stuff
Yeah.
than
Oh yeah.
probably what we are coming from a technician role to do managerial stuff. So
Well,
like I think, or even other pathways than that, but like having, it's not just you're going to do this for a year and go on and do something else.
right.
Like
Right.
how can we, again, how can we keep them in the field?
Well, and they also the other thing that is a glaring shortage is they don't get any CE. They don't get
Right.
like
Right. Really any training at all.
any well, they probably get training on the job of like
Training, from the hospital, but, like,
right.
no actual, like, conflict resolution training or, like, de-escalation training
Yeah.
or, like, they
Well, I'm
just
just thinking of like
this is our
basic
phone greeting and,
I'm thinking
like
like basic medical knowledge. Like
or
they
that, yeah, that
some
too.
of them come into the role with zero veterinary knowledge
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not understanding like yeah, most of them probably have pets, but a
sure,
lot of them don't come in knowing that like, oh, pale gums is not a good thing, or
right, right,
cats panting is not a great thing, or unproductive retching in a large breed dog is probably not a great thing.
yeah,
So I feel like somehow somewhere they need to get CE just like everyone else does.
mhm,
I mean, if we want to continue to
yeah,
keep them in that role and keep them being good at their job,
right.
I think they need some CE. I don't know how, like that's a task beyond what I'm capable of putting together. But I mean,
But no, realistically though, I mean, you look at a lot of conference programs, there is professional development tracks,
yeah,
I would say like hospital administration tracks where there is that kind of dealing with these kinds of clients or some of that stuff now is pretty commonplace. So it should be an option, especially if you have CSRs that are going to be invested in your practice and want to be there, like
but I don't think
invest in your clinics.
I don't think they get like they don't send CSRs to
No, no, no,
IVEX.
I know,
You
that's what
know?
I'm saying is
Yeah.
though, like, that should become
Oh yeah.
a goal, like, if they want to be there and they want to be in that role, support them, that's only gonna
Yeah.
help your practice, so
Is
anywho.
there some type of like I don't know, like an association of that like is there a group that we just don't know about that handles CSR training
Yeah,
or
well, not training, but remember, I think it was Rhonda that just was part of starting
Oh, that's right.
a
Yeah.
CSR,
Yep.
not I don't wanna say academy, that's not the right word, but,
Like a group of some
a group,
sort to
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Or
so
even if it's a support group,
yeah.
that's
Yeah, so there is something out there, and again, I think it's in its infancy stages. It's
yeah.
gonna take some time to build and what have you, but again, it's a role in the hospital that needs to be supported and developed, and yeah, so
Well,
we
it
really
kind of similar to what we say with technicians until we treat it as a career, not just a job.
Mhm.
It's gonna be just a job for a lot of people,
Yep,
and I think with CSR is the same thing. Treat it
yep,
like a career.
for sure, absolutely, absolutely.
we we're both like, what's the next thing?
Yeah,
So we got upcoming episodes. We've been doing you've been doing a lot of communication with a lot of upcoming guests,
mhm.
which I think is great. I'm trying to look at our schedule of what we got coming
Our
up.
next one is gonna be another, technician that is starting a new or has started a new
Yeah.
business. And I don't want to give too much away. We have the episode with the VTS and dermatology uploading tonight, but the one that'll upload in 2 weeks, another technician starting a new business in her area. I think it's going to be really, really cool because I do think it's one. I know of a couple other similar business ideas in other areas, but I think it's one that perhaps could become more commonplace
Yeah.
in a lot of areas, and
Yep.
so I think that's going to be a fascinating discussion. And then yeah, we've got quite a few others. Another VTS Academy we hadn't talked to yet.
Hmm.
And kind of does a lot on social media, has their own podcast. So yeah, I think we've got 5 or 6 in the works.
One, two,
That
three, four. Yeah. Yeah. About six.
Yeah,
maybe, well, a couple we haven't heard back from, so
yeah,
we've
and
got enough
that'll
to
that
get through
yeah,
April at
yeah,
least, I think.
and that'll almost get us to our May episodes, which we've
Yeah,
already kind of got lined up as well. If you haven't been with us for very long, we always dedicate our May episodes to mental health areas in our field, and we've already kind of got a couple of episodes lined up for that. Yeah, and then summer's coming.
well, and we just, this was it, this week we booked our flights to Phoenix, so
Yes,
that's on the books. Very
yes,
excited for that, and you're
yes.
already working on tickets for games, which is
Yes,
awesome.
yes. Phoenix Caffeinators. We are coming back to the Valley of the Sun. We get there Saturday night, March 15th, and we are there till Wednesday morning, March 19th.
Yeah,
I know sometimes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday aren't the most convenient days for everybody to get out and say hello, but if you're in the area, we will obviously be at a couple of breweries, a couple of ball games. We'll post a lot more about it as it gets closer, but we'd love to see you. We'd love to have you join us for
yeah.
a beer and just chat, especially
Drinks
if
on
any
us.
drinks on Dave.
Uh,
Especially if if anybody from Arizona Vet Tech Association,
yeah.
would love to hear how you guys are doing.
Isn't there a Joe Miranda? Isn't he?
Uh-huh.
Is he
Yep.
Joe?
And
We should find you because
yeah, absolutely, and
you
Stephanie
comment on all of
Perry
our
and
stuff.
yeah, so, but anybody, I know we've got a few fans out there, so, we'd love to see you, and again, I know it hasn't worked out well the previous couple years, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, not always great days, and we're always kind of on the go, frankly,
Right.
our schedule is based on what baseball games we can attend,
It's the whole reason
and
we go to Phoenix.
and I think in the 3 full days we're gonna be there, we're gonna go to anywhere from 4 to 6 baseball games. That's how crazy we are, caffeinators. So
That's what we love.
that's what we love. So yeah, really, really, really looking forward to
Yeah.
that getaway for sure. So and we're
Looking
staying
for
with a good
sun and
friend
yeah.
of ours,
Yeah.
who's been a guest on the show, Brandy Halua. So she's opened up her house to let us crash
Yeah.
there. So yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to like I need this trip to like get me through the winter. Like I
Mhm.
realize the winter that I endure here is not quite what I endured up in New Hampshire, but the cold weather, like it affects me. Like
Yeah,
I'm miserable in the cold weather, and I
yeah,
just absolutely hate it. And looking forward to being in
yeah.
Phoenix and in the sun.
Yeah, because
Um,
even with, like, the couple of times we've gone there, there's been, like, a chilly day or 2 where it's
yeah,
maybe, like, rained a little bit or been a little blustery, but it's still, like, 55, 60 degrees.
yeah,
It's not like it's
yeah. Like we
cold.
wear hoodies to the games,
Yeah,
but usually they're off by the third inning.
or there's plenty of days it's also just 80 degrees and bright sunshine,
Yep,
and we're already, like, getting sunburned.
yep.
So,
Yeah, we have to remember to do pictures for the website before
yeah,
we get sunburned.
yeah, yeah, that's one of our goals this year,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
we'll do that Sunday morning, I guess,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, for sure.
whenever the first thing is.
Yeah, yeah. So, what else? Anything else we haven't covered yet?
I think that's it. Like I was looking around to see if there's anything big in the news right now with the veterinary profession. I didn't see anything like huge and breaking other than the fact that it's a new year. The TikTok ban went into effect this
Yeah.
morning, so I know that affects some.
Thankfully, we weren't all that active on TikTok, but,
Well, I mean,
we had a
it
TikTok
makes me
account.
glad that we didn't invest a lot of time
Right,
and effort
right.
into doing all that.
And
If
I know
this is
a
what it's
lot of
going to be,
people are migrating to Rednote. I've never even heard of Rednote. I don't know what
never heard of that.
Rednote is. And then same thing, I think going away from Meta platforms, Instagram and Facebook, and going to Blue Sky,
Blue Sky, yeah,
and
yeah.
getting also migrating away from Threads. I don't honestly know how popular that was anyway, but,
I I
um,
I I get notifications about it, but I
yeah.
don't even know what it is. Like, is
Yeah,
it just an offshoot of
it's
Instagram or
a
what is it?
no, it's a Meta offshoot of Twitter.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
don't want that.
So, yeah, no. But we're still on LinkedIn, and we'll still have those other,
Yeah,
profiles up. I would also just encourage anybody, if you're gonna stay on Meta platforms just to stay connected or whatever, you know, kinda like how I said one of my goals last year and this year too is to unsubscribe from more and more and more junk mail. Like, the longer you do it, it makes a huge difference. So,
mhm,
while you're scrolling, if like think about this. I don't even know how many friends I have, quote unquote, on Facebook. Let's just say I have 1,000 friends. I probably have actually met a
Oh,
quarter of them.
yeah,
Like
if that.
right. So if people are posting content you don't want to see, especially if they're not actually your friends, you don't even have to unfriend them. Just
Yeah,
unfollow them.
unfollow.
When you see ads, don't like. It's not even interacting with the ad as you scroll by. If it just catches your eye and you pause on it, that that's like
That's an interaction.
that's an interaction, that's engagement. So, close out of the ads, report them, like, take back your feeds. It takes a long time to change the algorithms, but get rid of what you don't wanna see, like what you do like. Dave, I said this to you, I think, last week or the week
Yeah,
before. When I scroll the Vet Tech Cafe Instagram feed, I basically like every post because
yeah,
it's everything we wanna see. It's
yep,
what technicians are doing. We don't follow personal accounts. We follow
right,
veterinary technician accounts.
yeah,
My feed in Instagram, it's a bunch of junk. I maybe like one thing out of 100, and the
yeah.
rest is just reels I send to you. Um,
All baseball and beer related.
right, right, absolutely, and, like, so, it can be done. It takes a lot of effort
Yeah,
and what have you, but and I understand, like, wanting to go away from Meta because of everything else that's going on, which is totally fine. If that's what you wanna do, that's your prerogative, and
yep,
and absolutely, but if you do want to stay connected to your friends and your family, identify who those people are and, like, unfollow a whole bunch
all
of
the other
stuff
stuff,
and
yeah,
make sure that you are seeing what you wanna see. Take back your feed to some degree. It takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of time, but it can be done, and, you just gotta be diligent and stick with it. But it's the same thing when you go through your email and you have 100 junk emails, open them up and click unsubscribe. By 2 or 3 months, you will have hundreds of less junk emails. You'll be off so many lists
one of
and
the things that I've done with my email is that you can set a tag in Gmail that if there's an unsubscribe button in the email, it'll flag it as
it
an unsubscribable, and then you can just go through and unsubscribe it before you even open it.
yeah, yeah, and, like, again, it takes some mental gymnastics, it takes some, like, fortitude to do it, but you're scrolling anyway, all you're doing is
Yeah,
scrolling past, so just click an X as you scroll by,
yep,
and, like, you will notice over time that you're seeing more of what you want to see and less of what you don't, and again, you don't have to, like, unfriend people, you just
yeah,
unfollow
just
them,
unfollow them.
and yeah, and boom, so
And I think you can also go in and, like, put people that you don't see all that often into your feed. I don't know
mhm,
how to do that. I think I saw that maybe a year or so ago, but I don't
yeah,
know if that's still a thing. But you can,
yeah,
like, I think I went through at one point. I was like, I'm not seeing any posts from this person that I used to
yeah,
see all the posts from. It's because they weren't on my whatever it is, the top 10 or
mhm,
top 20 list
yeah,
of things that I want to see. So there's ways to, like,
yeah.
personalize it to see what you want to see.
Right, right, absolutely, yeah, I'm just looking,
Well,
so
our Facebook is the same way. When you scroll through our follows on Facebook, it's all veterinary stuff. So
yeah, yeah,
it's the similar to the Instagram thing.
yes, yes, absolutely, so, yeah, anyway, that's kind of
That's your
me on a
soapbox.
on a soapbox for this episode, yeah, yeah, so,
Nothing wrong with soapboxes. I love them.
nope, nope. Well, I'd say let's wrap it there, quit while
Let's
we're
wrap, and
ahead,
yeah, and we got some
um,
football to watch, and
yes, we do, and some beer to drink,
yeah,
and I got some projects to do today, so, caffeinators, I know it's well into January now. It's the 19th, but happy New Year. Hope everything is going well. We'll see you from the Vet Tech Cafe tonight.
yeah,
And of course, every other Sunday going forward. But we will be back in the Vet Tech tap room in about a month. And Arizona Caffeinators, we want to see you. So mark your calendars. We'll be there the 15th through the 19th of March. Hope to see you guys.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bye,
All right. Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
All right, about 25 minutes. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's I think that's where
Short and sweet.
these should be. These should be
Yeah.
like less